For 2 Smash games in a row, this character has been a low tier twice, has had the most interesting roller coaster ping pong effect on different sides of both Smash 4 and Smash Ultimate's tier list. Stay tuned to see why, and I hope you guys are doing swell. Bowser Jr. was actually one of the last characters added to Smash 4, which is kind of funny as not only was he in a last minute addition, they gave Bowser Jr. some of the most impressive cosmetics, making each skin a actual Koopaling, yet still couldn't really make him a crazy viable character. I know that was a bit of a low blow. His moveset has potential, but there's plenty of problems with this character archetype that keep him from performing highly in tournaments. When Smash 4 initially came out, people thought of Bowser Jr. as a top tier character. Yes, you're hearing this right. If you know his placement now, that sounds actually kind of crazy. Now we can chalk it up to what I like to call new character syndrome, where yes, I made that up, but new character syndrome is essentially where a new character joins the game and everyone overvalues the character's potential because they don't know how to beat them, and the character is simply just brand new. And once a character is figured out, they tend to fall off the meta. Bowser Jr. definitely falls in that camp. Initially, people thought he was a mix-up character, and he had some decent options like his up special that looked a little broken at first, I'm not gonna lie, but actually wasn't that good once you notice its weaknesses. He has incredible mobility, especially for being a heavyweight, with great tools like his side special, and even people like Tweak were known for maining this character. However, he would switch away from using Bowser Jr. long term, as you'll obviously see why in this video. In fact, you could argue a large part of Bowser Jr.'s early placements in 2015 was because of Tweak alone pushing this character. However, a flaw of Bowser Jr. in Smash 4 is he's heavily outclassed by other projectile-defined characters, and just the Smash 4 top tiers in general are leagues better than him. Bowser Jr. is sort of a mishmash of other character ideas. He's got multiple projectiles, he's a heavyweight, being the 6th heaviest character in the game. He has strong smash attacks and disjointed aerials. His aerial drift is actually pretty good. This benefits his aerial combos and recovery, and he's one of the few characters in all of Smash where he has a separate hurt box that takes more damage than other hurt boxes. He's one of the few characters to actually have a weird dynamic like this, so I'll explain it. If you hit him and the green part of his body, for example, it will deal more percent than if you were to deal the same exact attack at his clown car. Fun fact, Bowser Jr.'s clown car hurt box doesn't even cover the whole clown car, which is really sad. So that means Bowser Jr.'s body is mostly going to be taking a majority of the beating. In fact, the clown car hurt box isn't even that helpful. Even other projectiles like Fox and Falco's lasers are high enough above the ground that they even hit Bowser Jr.'s body. This makes this sometimes more of a negative than it should though, because the hurt box doesn't line up with where it visually should be. It means Bowser Jr. is actually going to be taking more damage a majority of the time than any other character in the same situation. His side special, which isn't a bad tool, it's almost like a pseudo spin dash if I could call it anything. It's a weak attack. Because of its speed, you can use it as a bait and punish tool. Now if you look at his hurt boxes again on this one, you can see the issue. This move has heavy armor, which it only takes 8% of heavy armor, which means most moves can go through it, but hey, armor's armor. It doesn't even cover Bowser Jr.'s whole body. Yeah, it's very unusual again for a character to have a move like this, and it doesn't even really help him that much. And because Bowser Jr. is leaning forward and pointing, this actually makes him vulnerable from being stopped right in his tracks by projectile spammers. This move is kind of a joke in Smash 4. If the heavy armor covered more of Bowser Jr.'s body, this wouldn't be as much of an issue, but as we can see, they kind of messed up. There is some tech you can do by mashing side special. You get a little bit of momentum from the cart shaking, and the momentum can actually make the heavy armor potentially block some projectiles easier. It's not consistent at all, but be my guest, you can try it out. You can use it when you're recovering above the opponent, and you can have the heavy armor sort of stop opponents from maybe up airing you, but even a lot of up airs can pass this 8% heavy armor, so yeah. On a positive note, he has strong burst options like his up special, which I remember distinctively everyone spamming in For Glory mode. I won't rag on this move too much because I think this risk-reward mechanic behind the move is 100% intentional. You do have to realize though that you can sometimes die at very low percents if somebody combats you in the middle of this move's animations. Bowser Jr. probably has one of, if not the worst projectile in all of Smash 4, being his neutral B, the clown cannon. It can't be stored, it does very lackluster damage, it's easy to telegraph, and you just gotta shield it, that's it. Because of this move's large amount of lag, the fact that Bowser Jr. can't do projectile mind games with this move means he's just forced to use it, and he's probably going to be punished for it. It's not good at all. It's like, yeah, cool, Bowser Jr. has so many projectiles, this is nice, but one is decent and the other one is just plain awful. His aerials are very overcommittal, despite being disjointed. A lot of these moves have plenty of lag. His grab game is also very straightforward and mediocre. Most of his throws have little utility unless it's its down throw, which is sort of a combo throw. They have a lot of end lag surprisingly, so yeah, sorry Bowser Jr. fans. There's nothing wrong with being a fan of Bowser Jr., it's just I feel bad for this iteration of the character. He's just not that good. Are they secretly underrated? Is it possible that Bowser Jr. could be a mid-tier? There is a lot of unique tech possible for Bowser Jr., like cart sliding. There's plenty of stuff you can do if you decide to lab it. Some people think it's possible Bowser Jr. was secretly a mid-tier, and then there's the other side of the coin where people think Bowser Jr. is actually one of the worst characters in the game and there's no hope. Bowser Jr. on Smash 4's final tier list was 47th out of 54 characters, which is not good at all. Some people just wish Bowser Jr.'s unique hurt boxes were just neutral across the board, like his body and car just being the same like every other character. Some people wish his moves weren't laggy and maybe he'd actually have a good projectile that could be helpful too. I wonder if those things will change though. Bowser Jr.'s reception when Smash Ultimate came out was the complete opposite of the original reception the character got when Smash 4 came out. Some people were thinking this is possibly one of the worst characters in the game again. Why is this the case? Well, let's see. He did get a slew of buffs that were definitely warranted. Like for example, making his clown car hurtbox the priority over his body hurtboxes. That's a great change. This helps his survivability majorly. And Bowser Jr. can keep his double jump if he cancels side special. Mecha Koopas come out quicker. The hammer swing of up B has plenty more range. His up throw was made into a combo throw and down throw got a damage increase. They buffed Clown Cannon's KO ability when fully charged, and it's faster, it's larger. You can also have two cannons out at once. It stays active longer. It deals a load of shield damage, and it has a regular damage buff too. This is a lot of changes for this previously terrible move. Some might say, wow, this is night and day better than the Smash 4 version, and I would agree. It's still relatively risky, but now it's finally usable. However, he was given nerfs like he can't air dodge out of side B anymore. Mecha Koopas are beaten by simply holding shield, and your opponent can just pick them up and use them against you. This was possible in Smash 4, but Ultimate made it even easier. His standing grab got less range and has more end lag. Forward smash and down smash had their hitboxes tweaked, and some consider these moves less consistent than the Smash 4 versions. It didn't help that Bowser Jr. still had a lot of the same problems as the Smash 4 version. Laggy aerials, poor approach options, he's bait for aerial combos because his more susceptible body hurtbox still is a thing. Sure, he was given a slew of buffs, but it ultimately, see what I did there, didn't change the character that much. The changes were still very minimal. Some people to this day wish the different hurtboxes were just completely removed and standardized, and because while it's less of an issue in Ultimate, it's still an issue, and it still holds him down. Some people feel like he has too many flaws and wasn't changed enough from the Smash 4 version, as both versions of the character are still similar. Again, the narrative sort of repeated itself, where there's even a crowd where people think Bowser Jr. is still underrated, and people just need to figure them out. However, there's also the other side of the fence where Bowser Jr. is ranked still as a low tier character in Smash Ultimate, being 72nd out of 82 characters, which is a small improvement from the Smash 4 version, but still in the same place. He's even more overshadowed in Smash Ultimate because the majority of the roster has been buffed compared to the previous versions of these characters, and now because DLC characters exist, they all just have high amounts of KO power, and the power creep is way higher, which means Bowser Jr. is going to be outclassed by those characters who do the same thing as him, but better. It's a shame that Bowser Jr. has been a low tier for 2 Smash games in a row. Maybe things can change in the future. I kind of feel bad for him low-key, but it is what it is. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you guys want videos early, I always put up videos early on Patreon and also for channel members. Hopefully you guys are having a good day. You guys are doing swell.